A year ago, I published a short video called The Psychology of Ignoring a Woman here on YouTube. It went viral and had gotten viewed by more than 1 million times. In the video, I proved that I could attract any woman by doing one simple thing: showering her with attention and then ignoring her. I call this technique the Interest Pique. There are 2 steps to the technique: the love bomb and the rug pull. Follow the 2 steps to a T, and I can almost guarantee you she'll come running back to you every single time. It's so easy. If you know Shogun Method, you'll already know what's going on. The Interest Pique, of course, is a variation of Shogun Method's fractionation technique, and that's why it's so darn effective. We'll come back to this later, but for now, if you haven't seen the video, look for it. Open up a new YouTube window and search for Psychology of Ignoring a Woman by Fredo Hill. Let it sit in the background. You can watch it next once you're done with this video, okay? So here's the thing. Many of my viewers tell me the crazy results they get from the interest piquing technique. I mean, 1 million people had seen it, and so you can guess how many colorful stories I've gotten from them. But I gotta be honest with you, not everybody's happy with it, and I'm going to tell you why. Like everything else inside Shogun Method, there's a risk of overdoing it. New Shoguns usually find it hard to hold themselves back when they first find this knowledge. I mean, if you suddenly inherit $1 million from your Uncle Scrooge, surely you'd feel tempted to splurge on a Rolex, yes? So what happens if you overdo the interest pique? Here's what. Instead of attracting a girl, you may end up with an obsessive stalker. This happens more often than you think. In fact, here's an email I had gotten just last week. Fredo, I used the interest pique and I'm regretting it. Like you told me, I've been ignoring her, but she had been trying to call me non-stop. I stuck to the plan and switched off my phone. And then, guess what happened? She turned up at my doorstep drunk. I didn't sign up for this, man. I'm not sure I want this at all. Help me get rid of her. Crazy shit, right? Also, there is that group of haters who are not happy that guys can finally get an upper hand in love. Apart from the usual threats of kicking my ass and lighting my balls on fire, the shit they say makes me chuckle. This is unfair to women. You're giving too much power to men. Don't you care about women's feelings? Funny, right? Then, there are those who want me to stop talking about Shogun Method in public. These are, of course, my fellow Shoguns who insist that I obey the 3rd precondition of Shogun Method. Respect the sanctity of the Shogun Method knowledge. Now, here's the thing. I love my brother Shoguns, and I am sworn to the Shogun Method secrecy. But guess what? I ran this through Derek Rake, and he was 100% fine with this. I mean, I now have hundreds of videos on my channel, and most of them are about Shogun Method. I'll be quite a dick if I did this without Derek's blessing. Come on, man. Still, I understand why some Shoguns freak the fuck out when they see Shogun Method tactics in the wild. After all, the fewer people know about this, the better it'll be for us Shoguns. But, like I said, Derek's okay with this unless I do something seriously stupid. You know, like leaking the Black Rose sequence or the Dragonhead's shadow word for word. Anyway, let's get back to the original point of this video. You're watching this because you want to know 1. Why ignoring a woman works, and 2. Why it can be dangerous. The answer to question 1 is simple. Ignoring a woman works because of female psychology. To an attractive woman, getting attention from men is a sure thing. And guess what? It's not unusual at all for a woman to get sick of excessive attention. Imagine you're a woman with double D cup breasts and thirsty guys in every corner wanting to squeeze you. Not fun, right? So, for a guy to withhold his attention from a woman, it's novelty. He's different. He's special. He's not thirsty. And most importantly, he's intriguing. Few understand this, but intrigue is a crucial part of seduction. It's the entry point to what Shoguns call the IRAE Model: intrigue, rapport, attract, and enslave. That's the 4-step process on how women fall in love. It's the strategy that every one of the 18,000 Shoguns swears by. There's nothing else quite like it because it's so darn effective. Now, here's the thing. I won't talk more about the IRAE model because Derek asked me not to. It's Shogun Method's secret sauce, and it'll lose its magic if everybody knows it. I mean, I'll only talk about it behind closed doors, especially the enslavement stage stuff. Can't tell you more, I'm afraid. Anyway, here's what I want you to understand. Intrigue is the important first step in seduction, and the best way to intrigue a woman is to ignore her. Got that? Good. Now the answer to the second question, why ignoring a woman is dangerous, is a little complicated. We'll get to that in a bit, but for now, I want you to do this for me. Since you've watched so far, I'm considering you a part of our Shogun Brotherhood, and every Shogun must do his part. Help me out by clicking the like button below. This will spread this video to more guys like you who need this knowledge. So go on and click like now because I'll wait here. Okay, let's continue about how this tactic can be dangerous to your health. Make no mistake, ignoring a woman messes with her mind. Some can take it well and see it as it is, a light-hearted courtship game. What you should watch out for are sociopathic women who go apeshit because you didn't text them back. I understand, you'll feel tempted to YOLO and go balls to the wall with this technique, but to make sure you get what you want, and everyone else safe, here are the 3 ground rules to follow. Rule number 1 is to only use it on someone you seriously want to be with. I mean, sure, you can use this to line beautiful women up for one-night stands. In fact, many guys use Shogun Method for pickup and getting laid. But here's the thing though. If short-term relationships are what you want, you really shouldn't be using Shogun Method. Why? Well, it's because Shogun Method causes long-term changes in a woman's psyche, and often, these changes are hard to undo. I'm sure you'll agree with me that messing with a woman's mind for a quick lay is not right. After all, you always want to leave a woman better than when you find her, yes? So here's the bottom line. Use the Interest Pique, or any other Shogun Method technique, only on someone you're 100% serious with. Agree? Good. Rule number 2 is to know when the tables are turned. As a Shogun, here's one thing you must understand. Relationships are a never-ending power struggle. When you're chasing a woman, you're in a position of lesser power than her, and she knows this. That's why she gives you shit tests and plays mind games on you. What you're doing with the Interest Pique is you're building power, and if you do it correctly, you'll feel the shift of power in the relationship to your hands. Instead of chasing her, she's the one chasing you. The important thing is to know when you're the one who is finally calling the shots. When this happens, you'll have a small window of opportunity to seal the deal, and this is where the next rule comes into play. Rule number 3 is to go all the way. Never, never, ever leave a woman high and dry. If you're serious about her, you've got to put the pedal to the floor and go full throttle. This is what I mean. The Interest Pique is only the start, a small sample of the ferocious, brass-knuckled power of Shogun Method. Because no matter how difficult she is, she stands zero chance if you unleash the full might of Shogun Method on her. Believe me. Now it's important to remember this. A woman falls in love in stages. In Shogun Method, these stages are Intrigue, Rapport, Attraction, and Enslavement. Shoguns call this the IRAE Model, after the initials of each stage. The Interest Pique is an intrigue stage technique. It's a good start, but not enough. What it gives you is a small window of opportunity for you to move her up to the next IRAE stage. If you miss this window, guess what? She'll turn cold and will probably be gone for good. And surely you don't want that, yes? So here's what you need to do. You need to follow up the Interest Pique with something even more powerful. It's another technique in Shogun Method we call fractionation. Once you've got a woman interested in you, the next step is to make her emotionally addicted to you. And that's what fractionation will do for you. It will make her see you as the source of her emotional fulfillment. Interesting, right? Now that you know the Interest Pique, it's time to up your game with fractionation. And the best way to learn the technique is by taking the Derek Riggs Mind Control Online Masterclass. After all, who best to learn fractionation from but the master himself, right? So here's what you need to do. At the end of this video, a link will come up. Click on it and fill in the form to register your interest. If you qualify, you'll receive an email invitation from Derek's team. As far as I know, the masterclass is still open and free, but I don't blame Derek if he closes it. I mean, many Shoguns think Derek should keep this technique inside the Brotherhood, and I somewhat agree. Still, if it's available, I think guys should jump on the opportunity to learn it. This technique is simply life-changing, and I am not saying that lightly. It certainly changed my life. So, go ahead and sign up for the masterclass. If you don't see the link at the end of this video, go to fractionationhypnosis.com or look for the link in the video description below. Do it.